game 2 of this series. Different story last night. The rains coming down hard all night long. Not one but 2 rain delays. After the first rain delay, it was Gene Segura on a ground out driving in the first run of the game. The rains came back. The tarp was unrolled. When they finally got it put together, it was K-Rod who closed it out, and the Brewers are shaking hands in a 2-0 win. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Pittsburgh. Much different conditions here tonight. Looks like a beautiful night for baseball. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minnaert in just a little bit. In the third time in the last 9 days now, we're going to have a major league debut. Tonight, it's going to be Taylor Youngman on the mound for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, we've gotten to know the minor league system pretty well, but let's learn a little bit about Taylor Youngman. Let's start it off with, he was a first rounder out of the University of Texas for the Milwaukee Brewers. He was the 12th overall pick. He dominated college baseball. He's a guy that has had an up and down minor league career. You can see overall over 500 for his minor league career. He's made 88 starts, 500 plus innings. So he's got enough under his belt to be able to handle this situation today. Sinking fastball, BA, the big important pitch for him, curveball. He's got to be able to throw that for strikes. The sinking fastball, a very good pitch for him. He only allowed 2 home runs down in Colorado Springs so far all season long. So we'll see how he's able to handle that, keep the baseball down. He keeps the ball in the ballpark and limits the walks. He should be okay.
Well, pitching has been the name of the game on this road trip. The Brewers are currently 4-3. They are getting great work from the mound. Can they keep it going here tonight? We're ready for lineups and first pitch. It's the Brewers and the Pirates, and it's coming up next from Pittsburgh. Francisco Liriano is on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. He is having a good year this year. Beautiful night for baseball. Downtown Pittsburgh, right across the Clemente Bridge. And Brewers baseball tonight presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. 73 degrees. The rains have moved east after a 5-hour night last night. 2 hours of rain delays, a 3-hour ball game. The Brewers were glad to get away from PNC last night with a 2-0 victory. The second shutout win, third shutout win, as a matter of fact, for the Brewers on this road trip. They are now 4-3 on this trip with 2 to play before returning home to take on the Washington Nationals. Craig Counsell's batting order today brought to you by Potawatomi. Gene Segura leads off. Jonathan Lucroy will hit second, then Ryan Braun. Middle of the order is Carlos Gomez, Aramis Ramirez, and Jason Rogers. Gerardo Parra, Hernan Perez, and Taylor Youngman will round out the starting 9 for the Brewers that will face the tough lefty, Francisco Liriano.
Yeah, 12th season for Liriano. He started his career with the Minnesota Twins, ended up with Tommy John surgery, but here he is. He's had some good years in the big leagues. You see his numbers, a .324 earned run average. Those strikeout totals amongst the best in the National League, 7th in the league in strikeouts with 81. The opponent batting average at 185 tops the NL.
Liriano ready to go to work. Gene Segura will lead off. Counsell adjusting his lineup a little bit with the left-handed starting pitcher. No Adam Lind in there tonight. Underway in Pittsburgh with a strike from Liriano. Segura had his 10-game hit streak snapped last night, although he did drive in the first run, proved to be the game winner. Dodging showers last night, had a 28-minute rain delay, and then a second rain delay of 1 hour and 45 minutes. Brewers got great pitching, and Francisco Rodriguez able to shut the door at the end. A 3-up, 3-down inning.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Just felt like last night's game at any moment was going to be called off, or at least that's why it was so imperative to get at least through the 5th inning. And mostly playing in a steady downpour. Grounds crew did a great job here last night. The Pirates grounds crew to be commended as Gene Segura starts a new hitting streak. After his 10-gamer was snapped last night, he is aboard with a leadoff single.
Well, let's check out the Menards Pirates defense. A couple of changes tonight. You got Andrew McCutchen back in the lineup. He had yesterday off nursing a bum knee. Andrew McCutchen back in center. Josh Harrison was out in right field last night. He moves to third base. Pirates near the bottom of the league in team defense. They have scuffled defensively.
A pitcher-friendly ballpark, PNC, here in Pittsburgh on the banks of the Allegheny River. Jonathan Lucroy with a man on to start it. Segura always a base-stealing threat. The Brewers aren't running quite as much under manager Craig Counsell. Segura and Gomez are the two who still have a green light. Lucroy, an ideal number 2 hitter. His batting average is headed north since returning from the disabled list. He had a hit last night, was 1 for 4.
Well, you figure the Brewers might be a little bit aggressive tonight on the bases. Liriano does not give up too many hits. Only 45 hits and 66 2/3 innings coming into tonight. It's very rare that he gives up multiple hits in an inning. Got to take advantage of your opportunities when they are there for you.
Lowest opponent batting average in the National League. He only allows about 6 hits per 9. Lucroy, a little cue shot to second, and the out at first. It will advance Segura, however. Lucroy retired on a 4-3 put out, and the Brewers put a runner in scoring position in this first inning.
Yeah, Liriano in the low 90s with the fastball. He sinks it, he'll cut it. Not afraid to come inside from time to time, but a lot of sliders. He's got a very good slider, throws a lot of them to lefties. And there's that opponent batting average that we were talking about, 185. So you don't expect to get a lot of hits against Liriano. So you might see Craig Counsell thinking about bunting tonight, advancing base runners, and waiting for that big hit.
So you add the hits per 9 with the walks per 9, which is about 3.4 walks per 9 inning. A little bit of a high number, but he does strike out a lot of batters. As Ryan Braun digs in, takes strike 1 from Liriano. Tell you, Ryan Braun last night had one of the better at-bats of the season when you put all of the ingredients together. It was a 12-pitch RBI single off a left-hander that extended the lead to 2-0 for the Brewers in the 8th inning. That was after that hour and 45-minute rain delay last night. And he hits that one sharply, bobbled briefly by Harrison. The throw is low, dug out by Alvarez.
Yeah, nice pick by Alvarez. And Brewers almost able to get a break there. Good base running by Segura to get into third base, but Harrison bobbled it for a second and then made a bad throw, and Alvarez, who's committed 8 errors on his own this year over at first base, able to pick that low throw.
That ground ball had disaster written all over it for the Pirates on a couple of occasions. They were able to get the out. Carlos Gomez moves into our T-Mobile Game Changer spotlight. His numbers against one of his close friends, Francisco Liriano. They were tight with the Twins, and for whatever reason he has had great success against Liriano. 9 for 18, and he wanted to hear nothing of that today. He's a pretty superstitious guy, Carlos Gomez, and you mentioned, hey, got a good matchup. He goes, no.
Did you mention it to him?
Nah, just, you know, it may be in passing.
You know better than that. Come on.
These two are together with Minnesota. They were the best of friends and remain close. That's a bunt, and it is going to roll foul.
Just barely. That's a good idea by Gomez. Hit the edge of the grass and kicked foul. Harrison grabs it in foul territory. You can see Harrison playing behind the bag. And the only hope that the Pirates had was for that one to go roll foul.
Once it hits the lip of the grass, no chance for it to stay fair with that line right up next to the grass. Runner at third, 2 away. We're just underway from Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us tonight. And a swing and a miss. Gomez strikes out to end the inning. The Brewers strand a runner at third base. Major League debut time. Taylor Youngman from Georgetown, Texas, on the mound next. Is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. Off and running here in Pittsburgh. We head to the bottom of the first inning, and there is Taylor Youngman. And for the third time in the last 9 days, the Brewers have a major league debut with a starting pitcher.
The numbers not really jumping out at you on the positive side, but his last 3 starts very good. He had a .392 earned run average in his last 3 starts, so much better. He has been bitten by the big inning, and the walks for Youngman so far this year have come in bunches.
Facing Josh Harrison, an all-star a year ago, deals strike 1.
Youngman 6'6", 215 pounds, 25 years old, and out of Temple, Texas.
Harrison beats it into the ground, foul. I would imagine with a sinker ball pitcher, the faster he can get comfortable on the mound and in these major league settings, the better. You don't want a sinker ball or too amped up. That's usually when they get hurt.
And that's when everything flattens out and they give up base hits. But his numbers out in the minor leagues, I mean, although not very impressive, he did keep the ball in the ballpark. Only allowed 2 home runs down in Colorado Springs. That's pretty good. That means that sinker was working pretty well.
You can see he throws across his body, works on the extreme third base side of the rubber, and that is by design, and that's something the Brewers did with him right away once he entered into the pro ranks. Move him to the other side of the rubber.
And making him more effective against right-handed hitters. That baseball coming at an angle and better able to cover that outside corner to lefties.
Harrison lines one foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Josh Harrison. Now you met Harrison. The rest of the Pirates lineup, Polanco and McCutchen to follow, and then in the middle it's Walker, Marte, and Alvarez. Cervelli, Mercer, and Liriano rounded out the Potawatomi Pittsburgh batting order for Clint Hurdle. The 2-2 breaking ball popped up, had him out in front, and Taylor Youngman's first out in the big leagues is to All-Star Josh Harrison. Well, major league debuts are special for the player and the families and friends of the player, and Sophia has more on that.
Yeah, the Youngman family, you know, you were talking about Taylor Youngman, how he needs to battle the nerves, and he said as much as well yesterday, but the Youngman family is trying to do the same. You see there's about 10 or 11 of them here. Dad Leland, Mom Sharon, that's his sister Taryn as well, his girlfriend, his nephew Hudson is decked out in full Brewers uniform, but he was so excited for the game tonight that I'm not sure he made it in time for first pitch. He's taking a little nap right now, but Dad Leland and Mom Sharon were very excited. Obviously, it's such a labor of love to get your child here to the big leagues. They were already battling the emotions, getting a little emotional. Dad had tears in his eyes. Taylor hadn't even taken the mound yet, so they're very excited to be here from Texas.
It is so much harder for the families and the friends, those close to the player, to go through this, especially, Rock, as a starting pitcher. You know, they've known this is going to happen, and yeah,
that's Mom.
Hudson, he'll catch this action a little bit later.
They'll tell him all about it. They'll tell him all about the game at some point.
He's crashed. Well done. On the ground, a bouncing ball. Polanco out to second base, and Perez makes a play for out number 2.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. A couple of changes from last night. Hernan Perez gets a start at second base. Jason Rogers at first. Francisco Liriano, left-hander. Adam Lynn sits this one out. Luis Sardinas was sent back to the minor leagues to make room for Youngman today.
Bit of a surprising move, but remember, Hernan Perez does not have any options available. That's how the Brewers got him from the Tigers. So Sardinas is the one who is shipped out. And all of this activity, all of these major league debuts by the starters, it is all based on the 17-inning game Sunday week ago against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Brewers have still yet to catch back up. Willie Peralta is still on the disabled list, but they have tried to piece it together, Craig Counsell, and open auditions here on the mound. Taylor Youngman gets the chance tonight, and facing a former MVP in Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, it seems like he has a good curveball in the first inning. That's a good sign. That means he's nice and relaxed. Curveball's been good. He's been keeping that fastball down in the strike zone.
That fastball hit 94 miles an hour. A little more velocity here as that sweeping breaking ball misses.
You know, the other end of that reason you have to send down a position player. Will Smith is still on suspension. That's going to be over on Thursday. You can't send down another pitcher.
Two balls, 2 strikes on McCutchen. Just missed. 3-2 the count. Now the Brewers having to play short-handed with their roster, a 24-man roster now. as Will Smith serves the suspension, a 6-game suspension, was reduced to 6 from 8. He'll be eligible once again in that first game against Washington. There's a called strike 3. And Taylor Youngman's first major league strikeout is to Andrew McCutchen. Welcome to the big leagues. The family's all here. Taylor Youngman's got his major league career off and running. Start 3 up 3 down inning with a strikeout of Andrew McCutchen to end his first inning in the big leagues. Here we go to the second now. Aramis Ramirez will lead off. Ramirez, Rogers, and Parra against the left-hander Francisco Liriano. Now that's worth another look, isn't it, Rock? Brought to you by Columbia St. Mary's. Your first big league strikeout is to Andrew McCutchen, a former MVP.
Yeah, that was right on the inside corner of the strikeout pitch, and that's one of the advantages of working on the third base side of the rubber. That ball comes in at a diagonal, particularly the way he throws across his body like that, and caught McCutchen looking.
And you'll notice that Francisco Liriano works from the same side as Youngman, but he's left-handed. He has a great changeup, and he's trying to utilize his best pitches. That tailing fastball against all those right-handed batters. As Ramirez bounces to short, they had a shift on. That's Jordy Mercer who makes the play and one away here in the second inning.
And Liriano likes to work away to right-handed hitters. He's going to come inside just to show. He's not going to really try and get you out in there. That two-seam fastball at well, low 90s. Nasty slider. That's his best pitch, and then he has that changeup to go with it. When he came up with the Twins, they dubbed him the young Johan Santana. The two of them threw very similar.
Jason Rogers now with one away. Rogers has been Council's best pinch hitter this season, maintaining a .300 average off the bench. Lately he's been getting starts at first when left-handers are on the mound for the opposition, so it's starting to evolve back into a platoon with Adam Lind, and Rogers has been able to grab that spot. Now Rogers swings and hammers one to left field. Back is Marte. He reaches up and it is gone. A home run just out of the reach of Starling Marte. Jason Rogers, just his second home run in the big leagues, and it's 1-0 Brewers.
Well, he just dropped the head of the bat on it. Now, that's how strong that young man is right there, Jason Rogers. Looked like a breaking ball, trying to get down and in. He left it up just a little bit, but just dropped the head of the bat on it and knocked it out of here. Well, that's an impressive swing, and Rogers showing big power. There it is, the slider. Didn't break all that much, stayed up in the zone, and able to find the first throw out there and left.
Marte almost caught that ball. Had to wait for a moment. He was reaching into the stands, and he didn't miss it by much. Gerardo Parra. See how close this was. Well, it had that sound to it, and look at Marte. Oh man, I'm telling you, he was right there.
I think if the fan doesn't interfere with him, you might be able to catch it. Let's see. Check out the fan.
You're right.
I think if the fan doesn't do that, Marte might be able to make that catch.
You're exactly right. Well, Jason Rogers will take it. Second homer of the season, now 5 RBIs. Gives the Brewers the early lead here tonight. And a swing and a miss by Parra.
This is tough duty for Parra tonight. Liriano tough, very tough against lefties.
Parra's the only one in there. Chris Davis on the disabled list after undergoing knee surgery. And a ground ball. Liriano stabs it. Nice play. And there is out number 2. 4 of the 5 outs are ground outs for Liriano. And when he's right, he will get a lot of ground ball outs. Liriano got off to such a great start in his career. Almost won a Rookie of the Year. As Perez swings at the first pitch. And that will retire the side. However, Jason Rogers just able to get one over the glove of Starling Marte in left field into the bleachers. A home run for Rogers, and the Brewers lead it 1-0.
Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. The Brewers with a 1-0 lead, and somebody woke up Taylor Youngman's nephew Hudson, told him that his uncle just struck out Andrew McCutchen for his first big league strikeout. But Taylor Youngman talking about making his debut here tonight. He said he's just going to try to let the nerves settle, try to treat it like any other game. And he said he's seen guys, they get too excited, and so you want to just settle down, try to treat it as normal as possible. And talked about pitching in Colorado Springs. He said it's a great city, great fans, but he says as a curveball pitcher, it is tough to deal with all the elements, the cold weather, the dry air, the altitude as well. So he said as long as you stay within yourself, you can stick to your game, you'll be fine.
Even the higher altitude than Denver, Coors Field. They call it Coors Field on steroids. It is the toughest place to pitch by far in all of minor league baseball, Colorado Springs. So Youngman's got to feel like he's in another dimension here.
Yeah, this is just the opposite of Colorado Springs. Nothing calms you down like a 3-up, 3-down first, though.
Neil Walker leading off for the Pirates, sends one out to Parra. And one away here in the second. No guarantees that Taylor Youngman will get another start. The Brewers are still trying to figure out what they're going to do with their rotation in the absence of Willie Peralta, and they're playing shorthanded at least one more day tomorrow. And I think Taylor understands that. You know, he's been on the big stage. He's pitched in the College World Series. He's been at a high-level program at the University of Texas. This is obviously a different kind of level, but a college pitcher at a Division I program like that, you know, you've been through a few of the fires and been in the pressure cooker a little bit more than some of the other amateur players.
Not like this, though. Major League debut. Never forget it. Off to a good start. You know, that 17-inning game, the injury to Peralta. You know, the Brewers have made 13 transactions since June 1st.
Wow.
Guys coming up, going down. You know, you have Will Smith suspended. I mean, position players moving around. You pick up Hernan Perez. You know, Herrera goes. They put him, designate him for assignment. So a lot's been going on in the 9 days here in June.
One away, Starling Marte in an 0-2 count. Youngman has to be tough for hitters to pick up just by the nature of his delivery. And the thing that makes him successful is also the thing that could hurt him at times. Things that could make him inconsistent.
Yeah, the funky, you know, max effort delivery. Sometimes you're not able to repeat that delivery, and that's when you get a bit wild.
Breaking ball hit deep into left field, and that's not coming back. Marte ties it on a hanging curveball from Youngman. Starling Marte squares it up and one. That's his 12th homer of the year.
Can't get away with those hangers. And Marte leads the team in RBIs and home runs. And hit that one. That was one of those curveballs that didn't do much. That's about belled high, middle in, and Marte not going to miss that pitch. First run of the series for Pittsburgh.
Brewers shut him out last night 2-0. Home run number 12, RBI number 40 for Marte. He's in the top 5 in the league in RBIs, in the top 10 in the league in homers. There's Pedro Alvarez with one away.
Yeah, Youngman gives up a home run on a curveball, and you saw what Lucroy did. He went right back to the curveball. He didn't want Youngman to lose confidence in it. He left it down in the strike zone. That's where you want it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Alvarez beats the shift. Rolls one into left field. Extra bases for Alvarez. It's a double. And that time the shift worked against the Brewers.
And not much you can do about that. I mean, you can't defend a hit like that right off the end of the bat. A little cue shot right down that third baseline. Alvarez is not going to get many hits in that direction. If he does, they're going to be in the air. You can see where Ramirez is.
So with one out, a base runner at second. Alvarez with his 100th career hit. Here's Francisco Cervelli, the Pittsburgh catcher, who has been red hot at the plate all through the month of May. Cervelli will give you a lot of histrionics at the plate. He's a fun guy to watch. He can infuriate the opposition. He's got a little bit of Carlos Gomez in him.
Shows up the umpire once in a while by doing that on a strike.
Tried to coax a walk last night with a very similar reaction. I mean, that one's not missing by much, actually. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Cervelli. Comes in with a .333 batting average. He has the best batting average in the National League since May 1st. He's hitting .379 since May 1st. Had a huge month, and he's carried it over to the month of June in his first 5 games. And Cervelli's hit. So Youngman comes inside and drills him. And it'll be first and second with 1 away. And Jonathan Lucroy on his way out to the mound. Lucroy is going to be a key figure in this game for Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, that one not even close, and gets Cervelli right on the back of the arm. There has been a lot of bad blood between these two teams. There's been a lot of beanballs in the past, and yeah, Cervelli's trying to figure out what was that. I just missed badly on the inside corner.
Well, the Pirates had won 5 out of 6 from the Brewers until Milwaukee's win last night. Just their second win of the season. Jimmy Nelson has both of the wins for the Brewers this year against Pittsburgh. A strike to Jordy Mercer.
Yeah, both outings for Nelson, scoreless outings. 7 innings at Miller Park early in the season and 6 last night.
Nelson won his 3rd of the year. Francisco Rodriguez his 11th save. Moves him into 9th all time on the saves list. And all by himself. He broke free from Troy Percival, one of his mentors. The tall Texan, Taylor Youngman, 6'6", 220 pounds.
Now it's listed as Temple, Texas, but you talk about Georgetown.
Yeah, it's the next town up, Temple. He did. He grew up in Temple, and then he ended up in Georgetown, which is about 15 minutes south, for his senior year in high school, and he graduated from the high school I graduated from, and he and Corey Knable.
So they recruit down there then.
Well, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Not when I was there. Nobody wanted to go play baseball. Bouncing ball. Segura's got it. Throw to third, and it is in time for the out.
Yeah, only chance Segura had for an out. A nice play. And a good play by Ramirez, realizing he's not going to be able to get off the bag too far. Wasn't going to be able to get the ground ball and went to third. And they get the lead runner. This is the only chance that the Brewers had to get an out. Well done by Ramirez, able to keep a very stiff throw from Segura in the glove.
What a player. What range Segura has. And all of this Taylor Youngman experiencing for the first time. You know, you talked about hanging breaking balls in the big leagues usually get hit hard, and most of them end up in the seats. But on the other side, you get defense here in the major leagues that you just don't see in the minor leagues. There aren't many shortstops in the minor leagues making that play. That's a big out for Youngman and the Brewers. That brings the pitcher Liriano to the plate here. The runner takes off, swing and a miss by Liriano.
Just let him go. You got the pitcher at the plate. No sense in making a throw.
Be a stolen base for Cervelli.
Liriano, not much of a hitter in his career. But anybody with a bat in their hand can be dangerous. You got to make your pitches.
He does have 2 hits this year. He's 2 for 22. First and third with 2 away. And Liriano cues one foul. Youngman got the first man out, Neil Walker, and then gave up a home run to Starling Marte. Jason Rogers homered for the Brewers in the top of this inning. Well, the ball pops out of Lucroy's mitt. That will allow Mercer to advance to second base. That'll be a wild pitch.
Yep, able to keep it closer now. That pitch was way out of the strike zone, and Lucro with a nice save. Trying to calm him down.
Trying to put the pitcher away here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him. There you go. Breaking ball gets him his second strikeout. And we head to the 3rd inning. All tied at 1 after the Marte homer.
Hotel and Casino. We are tied up at 1 here in the top of the 3rd at PNC Park. Brewers fans, tonight only, it's your last chance. Fox Sports Wisconsin has taken over the Brewers ticket office to give you a great deal on Brewers tickets. When you purchase a regular price ticket to this Thursday's game against the Nationals, you can receive a second ticket of equal value courtesy of Fox Sports Wisconsin. This offer is only available online, so go to brewers.com/takeover and you can enter the promo code FSWI. So make sure you get your tickets tonight. Last call.
All right, Sophia, thank you for that. And here we go to the 3rd inning, and it'll be Taylor Youngman's first at bat in the big leagues. All tied at 1 here. Another major league debut. Brewers are getting a good look at their farm system. It's not the way you ideally want to set it up, but when you've struggled as Milwaukee has this year, coming in with a 21-37 record, you try to find a few of these diamonds in the rough, and Craig Counsell made no bones about it. The auditions are open, and we are open to being impressed.
Yeah, looking for guys to be able to get the job done. That's for sure. Cravey had a tremendous start in St. Louis. Lost the game 1-0. Wagner not a bad start.
Youngman was a pretty good hitter in the minor leagues. Start hitting in the minor leagues at the Double-A level. This year, Youngman had 1 hit at the Triple-A level. And he rips one to third, but right at Josh Harrison. And there is out number 1. Well, Taylor Youngman is the man of the hour here tonight. He's in our carsoup.com trivia question. Who are the 3 first-round draft choices on the active Brewers roster that were selected by the Brewers? So on the active roster, 3 of them in the first round. Homegrown products. It's a good question. I got 2 of them in mind.
Yeah, 2 of them are easy.
And I think the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, it's been kind of a roundabout way that he's back on the roster. I don't think he's always been with the Brewers. That's my guess. Segura back to the leadoff spot in the order, and he takes a strike. Segura singled in the first inning. He's done very well against left-handed pitchers this year. Segura's hitting .394. Actually, he can bump that up to .400 now after his single in the first inning. Overall at .287 after his hit in the first. Right off the end of the bat, and Liriano makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Don't let this guy get locked in. Although he has had a difficult time, at least a little more difficult time at home than he has on the road this year. Earned run average at home for Liriano this year over 6. On the road about 1.5.
And that ERA at home, due to 2 very poor outings. One of them against the St. Louis Cardinals. He went 6 1/3, but he gave up 6 earned runs in that game. And then his next home start after that was against Minnesota, and they put 7 earned runs on Liriano in just 2 innings. He was matching up against his old team, and I'm sure he was a little pumped up to face him. And the Twins roughed him up. But those are really the only 2 bad outings he's had all year. Other than that, he has been great. And he's pouring in the strikes here. He's got Lucroy in a hole 1 and 2. And Lucroy is down on strikes. Liriano making quick work of the Brew Crew in the 3rd inning. Picks up his 2nd strikeout. All right, Jeff, thanks. Nothing rattles you out of a nap like an ice cold icy, huh?
We'll be up for a while now.
Taylor Youngman, that's his young nephew, if you're just picking us up. He's been fun to watch today. He's in full uni, too. Hudson is his name. He was crashed when this game began. Beautiful night here in Pittsburgh. Starting to get through the 2nd trip through the order now. The leadoff man, Josh Harrison, he popped up to second base in the 1st inning.
I think Jeff Grayson has a writer. I mean, how does he come up with this?
No, I think he's very creative, and he spends a lot of time by himself. Jeff's got a birthday coming up. You know, it's his 50th. He's expanding the reach of his birthday.
Bryce is nice. I like that.
It's more like a birth week for Jeff Grayson. We're happy to have him. One ball, one strike. Youngman facing Harrison. All tied at 1 here in Pittsburgh. 2 home runs. Rogers for the Brewers, Marte for the Buccos. Brewers still have their draft in progress. Taylor Youngman, 12th overall pick in 2011, first rounder. And had a pretty significant signing bonus, about $2.5 million. We had him on right after he signed. It was he signed just before the deadline, which has now been moved up a month.
Yeah, end of July.
I remember he joined us on the air and gave a great interview and pretty humble about the whole situation, especially coming off his tremendous college career. He was among the finalists for the Collegiate Player of the Year while pitching for the University of Texas. Ground ball to Segura, and Harrison is retired.
Yeah, 2011, a good year for the Brew Crew, huh?
Well, that was in the middle when he joined us on the air. That Brewers were hitting the home stretch of a division championship season. And here he is, 4 years after the draft, and you can explain a little bit more, but you know, when he got into the pro ranks, there was a lot of mechanical adjustments he had to make. There were issues with his grip of the baseball that you don't see pitchers who have that much success in college have to go through. So his development has taken a little longer to get to the major leagues.
The grip of the baseball, particularly the curveball. I mean, he was holding the curveball with just his thumb and his middle finger. Didn't have the second finger, the index finger on the baseball. You see his delivery. Throws across his body. You can see the way, you know, that foot drags toward third base. I mean, you see that with left-handers. But it's amazing the way he's able to continue. There's that mark he makes. Unusual. It really throws across his body, puts a lot of pressure on that arm.
Now, if you're in the Pirates third base dugout, you feel like he's striding right at you. It reminds me of Jared Weaver of the Angels. Very similar style. Youngman is tall like Weaver. He's 6'6". And when he's got all those pieces put in the right place, he can be extremely difficult to pick up as a hitter. Falling behind Polanco. 3 balls and a strike. Gregory Polanco, among league leaders in stolen bases. He is a guy to keep off the base paths. They're all here to see Youngman's debut today. All the animals. The 3-2. Bouncing ball, foul.
You got cows, you got parrots. What else we got out there?
Ed Cedars. 2 Cowboys.
Eddie heard about that thing with he and the parrot last night. He thought it was good.
Is that right? They do look alike.
The similarities in the beaks. Eddie's a good sport.
Fine Brewers third base coach Ed Cedar. Another payoff, and Polanco fouls that one back. There's Ed Cedar along with Mike Guerrero, third base and first base coaches in their hard hats. Ed Cedar is in charge of the outfielders when the Brewers are on this side of the ball, and Mike Guerrero in charge of placing the infielders. So they stand together, they communicate, work together, and try to get everybody in the right place.
But one works independently of the other. Just because a guy's a pull hitter in the infield does not necessarily means he's a pull hitter in the outfield.
I always find it humorous when people say, well, you know, there's just not a whole lot going on between pitches in baseball. May not be on the field as a Youngman gets another strikeout. Big swing and a miss by Polanco. Number 3 for Taylor Youngman.
There's a lot going on and you just don't see it. You don't know it. Continue to pound the strike zone, able to get Polanco down in the strike zone. Got plenty of the plate, and Polanco swings right through it.
Easy cheese, they call it. He's got a nice smooth release, and then the ball jumps on you. He's throwing hard tonight. His fastball's hit 94. Here's Andrew McCutchen, who turns it around. Gomez coming in, lays out, and he makes the catch. Carlos Gomez showing that Gold Glove form. Robs a base hit from another Gold Glover. Center fielder to center fielder. McCutchen out to Gomez. And the inning ends on a beautiful play by Carlos. River, cross over the Roberto Clemente Bridge to get to PNC. And we will see Gomez in this inning. Braun will lead off, then Gomez, and then Aramis Ramirez. We're all tied at 1. A couple of solo home runs. Jason Rogers in the top of the second, Starling Marte in the bottom of the second.
Man, what a catch by Carlos Gomez to end that inning. Wow. First of all, Marte hit that one right on the nose. That ball had some carry on it, gave Gomez a chance to get there, and a beautiful catch.
Braun rolls over one to short, and there is out number 1, and it's mostly ground outs. Does have a couple of strikeouts, Liriano, but everything else, all of the other outs are on the ground.
Yeah, the only ball that was elevated was the home run. Got that late movement going away from right-handers that kind of gets you to pull off the baseball a little bit, and those easy ground balls to short.
Here's Carlos now. He struck out in the first inning. He tried to bunt his way on, and he pops this one up. Alvarez in foul territory. Gomez is out on the first pitch. Boy, those burn. One pitch and a foul pop for an out. 2 outs now. Here's Aramis Ramirez. Now the Brewers will continue with their player draft tomorrow. Rounds 11 through 40. Brewers made 8 selections on day 2. 5 pitchers, 2 infielders, and 1 outfielder today. 3 selections yesterday. I think the most intriguing of the draft picks is a Canadian prospect named Demi Oramaloy. And he is of Nigerian origin. Family moved him to Canada at the age of 3. There is a great story by Jeff Bradley of SI.com about Demi Oramaloy. Ray Montgomery has known this young kid since he was very young. He's 6'4", 225 pounds.
Yeah. Born in 1997. Are you kidding me?
Well, here's the backstory of Demi Oramaloy. If he should make it to the major leagues, he will become the first player of African descent to make it to the major leagues. There are 2 continents remaining with no major league representation: Antarctica and Africa. That would be quite a moment as Ramirez sends that deep to right, but Polanco is there in front of the Clemente wall. That is a 9-pitch inning for Liriano. 3 up, 3 down, go the Brewers. Taylor Youngman making his big league debut tonight. Youngman coming out of that 2011 draft. The Brewers are very happy with what they have in their first round. The Blaine's Farm and Fleet down on the farm. They're hoping that these 3 players will be in the farm system shortly. Trent Clark, Nathan Kirby is an interesting study. He was taken 40th overall out of Virginia. Left-handed pitcher that many felt was going to go a lot higher until he had an injury, a lat injury on the back of his left shoulder. So the Brewers are trusting their medical staff, and that could be a really nice pickup. The Brewers are getting high marks, and we're certainly glad to have Ray Montgomery move into that scouting role with the organization. He's a good one. Coming back to the organization now.
Yeah, most of the picks for the Brewers are out of college. Year to year, you never know, what's going to be the more trendy thing to do, high school or college. Only 4 of the picks so far have been high school kids. Did you see who was at the draft for the Brewers, representing the Brewers? Ben Sheets.
I did. Sitting there with Tom Flanagan. Great to see Ben Sheets again. That was tremendous. And we had time to check in on him during our rain delay last night. Sheets was always such a fun guy to be around. So fun to watch. I mean, so intense on the mound, but then always was a funny guy to be around outside of his starts. always enjoyed Ben Sheets and appreciated what he brought to the table. Speaking of a guy that threw 2 pitches.
Right. Yep.
Fastball, curveball.
Yeah, but the curveball is exceptional.
Yeah.
And he threw 97, 98. All that having been said, I mean, I loved having Sheets around. His father made a heck of a jambalaya.
Yes, he did. It was a hot shot foul by Walker.
The Cajun recipes were big in the Sheets family. Shared them at the ballpark.
And every time we went to Houston, we would always see Ben Sheets at the Ragin' Cajun. Every day. He went every day.
Big bucket of crawfish.
Walker a swing and a miss, and Youngman is racking up the K's.
Yeah, something off speed right there. 85 miles an hour. Could that have been his first changeup? Fastballs, curveballs for the most part.
Yeah, changeup grip.
Yeah, that's a good one. A little bit up in the strike zone, but it was the speed that got Walker. I don't think he's thrown one before that.
It's definitely his 3rd pitch, but he's planted that seed now. That'll serve him well. There's a fastball and a big swing by Marte.
See if he goes back to that curveball to Marte. That's the pitch that he hit out of the ballpark. Really the only bad curveball that he's thrown.
Shows bunt. Bunts it right back to Youngman. He's a good fielder. And a low throw to Rogers. And there is out number 2. Let's take you back to that pitch to Neil Walker and take a look at the changeup of Taylor Youngman.
Kind of a straight change. He gets onto the side of it to maybe try to get a little bit of cross movement on to go away from the left-handed batter. Pretty straight, but just chokes off the speed because of the grip.
Primarily fastball, curveball is his arsenal. Good that he has shown a changeup here early. 2 outs in the 4th. Alvarez at the plate.
I think Luke's doing a nice job, not only calming him down and keeping him focused, but mixing his pitches, forcing him to keep throwing that curveball.
Here's a 1-0 to Alvarez. Hits that one hard left center field. Parra's on the run and he's got it. Gerardo Parra. 2 gold gloves on his trophy case. 7 in a row for Taylor Youngman, getting some excellent defense tonight. Rock, this kid, he's right above the dugout, and the Pirates players, they keep giving him a baseball after every inning. This kid's having the day of all days. Look at that. I'm sure he's going to share. Put that hat on, son. That's great.
Some things you don't share, right?
Take it back to the second with Jason Rogers ready to lead off. This is his at bat in the second inning. Powerball home run number 2 for Rogers. Gave the Brewers the lead. Pirates got it back with a homer from Starling Marte in the second inning, the bottom half.
Yeah, last base runner for the Brewers, that home run.
Now Rogers out in front of a changeup. Eight in a row retired by Liriano. Slow roll to third. Harrison on the run. And Rogers is out.
A lot of ground ball outs. The only outs that have been recorded when the Brewers make contact is that foul pop in foul ground to first and that fly ball to right off the bat of Ramirez. So only 2 fly ball outs. A lot of very weak grounders.
That'll bring up Gerardo Parra. He made a difficult catch look easy last inning. That's the thing about Parra. He gets such great jumps and is so efficient in his routes. By the time the ball ends up there, it looks like just a routine catch for him. He went a long way to run down that ball by Alvarez.
Mike Cameron used to talk about that all the time. I mean, you know, do all your work early. So the catch is the easy part. He gets a good jump. He knows hitters. You don't see guys like that on the highlight reels all that much because they're so good.
Mike Cameron's son was drafted yesterday.
Oh.
Can you believe that? Remember that little kid running around?
I remember.
Yeah, he is a draft pick. I think he went in the second round. Big ballpark. That ball Youngman gave up to Alvarez, that is long gone in Colorado Springs. The beauty of pitching here. Foul tip.
Yeah, left field, left center might be the biggest of any ballpark in baseball, including Coors Field. There's a lot of room to cover out there. Look at 410 in left center.
They call it the notch here. Deepest part of the ballpark in left center. Two on the way to Parra. And down he goes. That's a tough matchup for Gerardo Parra. Liriano's tough on all hitters, but especially left-handed hitters. 2 away here in the 5th. Let's check in with Sophia.
Well, Craig Counsell addressing second base before today's game, saying we're just not getting much production there at all, and we're needing more of it. So he said part of it is that was part of the decision to send down Luis Sardinas. He said we want Sardinas to be playing every day, so he'll resume playing shortstop there. But he said, you know, since Scooter Gennett has gone down, they've used 4 different guys at second. So we're just looking for somebody to get hot. And just like you said, there was open auditions in the starting rotation. You'd say the same for second base right now. He says we want somebody to get hot and get going.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Perez grounds to third. Scuffling at the plate since coming to the Brewers from the Tigers. He has just 1 hit. Liriano is locked and loaded. Giving up just 1 through 5. schools this week, and we wish all those students good luck in their finals and the final week of school. Francisco Cervelli on the ground. Perez backhands it, and we'll throw him out. And also, we want to send a special shout out and thank you to all of the educators out there, all of the personnel working in the schools, all the teachers and administrative personnel. And, it is great work.
Yep.
And you are very much appreciated.
Yeah, my father was a teacher and a principal.
Yeah, my wife a school teacher for a decade. Appreciate that effort. Teachers rejoice here in just a few days. All those parents with those long faces. Yeah, a lot of kids here in the ballpark today. Got a couple of great programs here in Pittsburgh that open the doors for youngsters to come enjoy baseball at PNC Park.
Nice ballpark. Enjoy coming here.
Especially on a night like this, right?
Yeah.
Downtown all lit up with the setting sun. Looks like Legoland out there. Youngman deals a strike. Hit the edge. Jordy Mercer didn't think so.
Best seat in the house is up where we're at. You can't see the game, but it's a nice view of the river and the city.
It's a great view. Never mind the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a game going on.
Players are way down there like little ants. There's a liner right to Perez for the out. 2 up, 2 down for Taylor Youngman. Let's take you back to our carsoup.com trivia question. Our producer Brent Reeland has decided you've had enough time to answer. 3 first-round draft choices on the active Brewers roster selected by Milwaukee. And that would be Ryan Braun in 05. The next year, Jeremy Jeffress, although he went from the Brewers to the Royals to the Blue Jays and then back to the Brewers, and then Taylor Youngman. Braun was drafted as an infielder. Was a shortstop in college, then he moved to third. Came to the big leagues as a third baseman, as a matter of fact, in 2007. Ten years ago, Braun was drafted 7th overall. Oh, 1 pitch, Liriano right to Segura. And Taylor Youngman matching Francisco Liriano pitch for pitch here in his major league debut. We are all tied at 1. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business.
Well, they say imitation's the finest form of flattery. They're not the sausage races. Here in Pittsburgh, they are the pierogi races. And among all the imitators, Rock, this one's up there. They're very colorful, and I don't know which one's my favorite. I don't know the names of them, but we're working on that.
Oliver Onion.
Oh, Olive. I remember Olive. That's a good one.
Salt sauerkraut, I think.
I'm shocked.
That's it.
I am shocked by your knowledge of the pierogi races. Of course, you've had a few pierogies in your time here in Pittsburgh. Big supporter of the pierogi industry.
I have not, actually. I want one, but I can't find one.
All right, here we go to the Brewers' sixth inning. These two pitchers are going along very well so far tonight. Liriano has sat down 11 straight. Youngman has sat down 10 in a row. Youngman coming off a 7-pitch inning. He leads off at the plate and a ground ball to second base. A lot of first pitch swings, a lot of first pitch outs and ground outs.
Boy, the Pirate outfield's got to be getting bored out there, huh? He's only had one ball hit to him for an out.
Like when Satchel Paige used to tell his outfielders to just go sit in the dugout. Sometimes even his infielders and his outfielders. He'll just strike everybody out. Outfielders have not been required to do much here today. Segura takes a ball.
Outfield has touched two balls. The one that Ramirez hit to right, and McCutcheon picked up a base hit that rolled into center field.
Segura at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Had a base hit his first time up. He's back in the leadoff spot tonight. When Adam Lind is not in the lineup, and he's not in there tonight because of the left-handed starter, Council's rhythm has been to take Gomez out of the leadoff position and hit him cleanup. As Segura sends one deep to right, that ball's hit well. Polanco reaches up and makes the catch. Gregory Polanco using all of that 6'4" frame.
There's some good defense in this one tonight on both sides. Most of the good plays coming from the outfielders. Second fly ball that Polanco has been able to handle tonight. This is a tough play up against that chain link fence. Hauls it in. And reaching for it, realizes he has some room, and makes the catch short of the wall.
So here is Lucroy now with 2 away in the inning. Lucroy is 0 for 2. Liriano's ground ball fly ball ratio is 11-2, make it 12-2 now. And another quick inning. 14 straight retired by the left-hander Liriano to the bottom of the 6th.
Hotel and Casino. Taylor Youngman back to work, a 1-1 game here in the 6th. If you are a biking enthusiast, you will love joining the Brewers Community Foundation for the inaugural benefit bike ride scheduled for August 8th. The ride includes 4 routes, 22 and 44-mile routes starting and ending at Miller Park, and 88 and 100-mile routes from Madison to Miller Park. You can pedal to benefit 4 nonprofit organizations in town: the Urban Ecology Center, Dream Bikes, Penfield Children's Center, and the Miracle League of Milwaukee. So you can spend a fun day on the bike, followed by a tailgate party and ticket to that night's Brewers and Cardinals game.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Taylor Youngman back to work. We head to the bottom of the 6th. First ball swinging, Josh Harrison. And it's going to be Parra to run under it and make the play for the out. Boy, something in the water here in Pittsburgh. The Allegheny with all these first pitch swings. Our delivery of the game is courtesy of Jimmy John's. And how about the defense behind Taylor Youngman? That play by Segura to get it out. And how about this one from Gomez?
Yeah, this is a nice play. That ball was hit hard by Andrew McCutchen. And able to run it down coming in. And this one made look really easy with a good jump by Gerardo Parra, saving Youngman and the Brewers extra bases.
Youngman coming off a 7-pitch, 3 up, 3 down 5th inning. And 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 6th, facing Gregory Polanco, who just made a nice play himself up against the Clemente wall in right, robbing Segura of extra bases. Now the Brewers have pitched much better on the road than at home this year. As a matter of fact, the Brewers' road ERA is 3rd best in the National League. 3.76 earned run average on the road. And the Pirates, who enjoy a pitcher-friendly home ballpark, their home ERA is a little bit higher than their road ERA. They're still very good, but a home ERA of 3.14 is 6th best, and then overall in the league, only the Cardinals have a lower ERA than the Pirates.
Yeah, their starting rotation and bullpen very good for the Pirates. And Brewers are 12-17 on the road, 9-20 at Miller Park. Go figure.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Polanco. Youngman's been on the attack, getting ahead early. Those are the splits for the Brewers. Either way, it's not pretty, but at least the pitching is much better, much improved on the road, and not scoring a whole lot of runs, unfortunately. Runs are down. Another one on the ground. Ground balls everywhere here today. 12 straight retired by Youngman. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning. That'll bring up McCutchen.
You talk about the 3 major league debuts for the Brewers, talking about Wagner, Cravey, and now Youngman. They've been pretty good, especially Cravey and Youngman so far. They have both, all 3 of them have afforded themselves pretty well.
Cravey was a tough luck loser against the Cardinals. They gave up just 1 run in 7. Breaking ball misses to McCutchen. Look how efficient he's been. The 2nd inning was the trouble inning. Gave up the home run to Marte and then a double by Alvarez. Hit a batter in that inning. He has been extremely efficient since, as McCutchen down the left field line, hooking, and that will bounce up against the wall. Andrew McCutchen,
some kind of hitter.
He snaps an 0 for 9 at the plate with a double with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
How quick are those hands on that breaking pitch on the inside part of the plate? Waits about as long as anybody in baseball. Double number 15. Check it out. Not a lot of movement. Curveball, a hanger, and McCutchen very quick hands and shoots that one down the line and left. So he has hit the ball hard, very hard, this last couple of times up.
Yeah, McCutchen was robbed by Gomez, that great diving catch in center to end the 3rd inning. So a big spot here for Youngman. 6th inning, 2 outs. That snaps a string of 12 in a row, retired. Go ahead run at second base for Neil Walker.
Yeah, Walker with a big day at the plate yesterday. And one of the few Pirates that was swinging the bat well.
Pirates had just 5 hits yesterday, 3 of them from Walker. As a team, the Pirates stranded 9 men on base yesterday. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position in that 2-0 Milwaukee win. Through the rain and the rain delays. Youngman has showed very good poise in this game. Guy coming up making his major league debut, and a sinker ball pitcher at that. He's thrown a lot of strikes. He's had good command. Working from the stretch here, and Walker pulls it foul. It's 1-1.
Fastballs seem pretty straight though from Taylor Youngman tonight. You don't see that big sink, just a little bit right at the end, just enough to get these Pirates on the ground for the most part. So that's some good defense behind him on some hard hit balls.
That's foul. Just missed the bag. That one coming in at 92 got in on the hands of Walker. Youngman had a stretch of 13 in a row retired, actually. Going back to the Jordy Mercer fielder's choice, which you can count. It was an out. Until that McCutchen double, the last base runner was Francisco Cervelli, who was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Go ahead run at second for the Pirates. Yeah, Walker fights another one off. He's staying in on his hands.
Yes, he is, and able to get it in there. Hasn't left it out over the plate. Walker with some good power, particularly as a left-handed hitter. He's a switch hitter. Most of his power comes from this side of the plate. Dangerous to pitch in there, but he's been able to find the corner.
Do it again. Another 1-2. And Walker, a little half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Unable to check his swing. The third base umpire, Manny Gonzalez, rings him up. Taylor Youngman picks up strikeout number 5. He is through 6 complete innings, taming this Pirates batting order. by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. You heard of the rooftops at Wrigley, right? They're trying to get it started here in Pittsburgh. Look how far they are away. Still got a good shot of the game. Kind of feels like our vantage point from the other side. It's a very cool downtown setting here in Pittsburgh, PA. And they've got a good ball club to follow. Been in the playoffs the last 2 years. Ryan Braun will lead off. 13 home runs on the season. Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun is also among league leaders in that category with 7. Or 7th, I should say. 5th in the league in RBI starting play today. Brewers trying to break from a 1-1 tie. "14 straight retired by Liriano. The last hit was the Rogers home run in the second. Took a down and in slider and he hit one into the seats. Just cleared the wall. Starters have been on point tonight. Taylor Youngman, major league debut, 5 strikeouts. He's only given up 3 hits. Just struck out Neil Walker on a changeup. Full count to Braun. And he lost him. Ryan Braun draws the walk. Finally, the Brewers with a base runner. Their first since the 2nd inning.
And missed with a changeup of all things. Didn't really want to mess around with Braun too much. Hey, that brings us to tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. It's Bell's Castle Inn in Brookfield, if they call the Brewers. In the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2015 Brewers home game. This offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Bell's Castle Inn.
Sounds prominent. Here's Carlos Gomez now with Braun at first. And Gomez rips one through the middle, a base hit. Braun thinking about third. He's on his way. And here come the Brew Crew in this 7th inning. A leadoff walk, then a clean single by Gomez, and the Brewers have him at the corners.
Yeah, with McCutcheon playing very deep, and that ball able to find its way into center field. And McCutcheon not running all that well. He's got that sore knee. Ryan Braun doing a nice job getting into third base. Well, first and third, nobody out. Check out how far McCutcheon has to come. He's not at full strength, and Braun able to cruise into third.
And McCutcheon dealing with soreness in his knee. Did not play yesterday. Now Ramos Ramirez, first and third in a 1-1 game, and a swing and a miss. Good block by Cervelli back behind the plate.
Big shoes to fill for Cervelli. Last couple of years it's been Russell Martin, but he's done a good job.
I don't think any of the Pirates felt Cervelli would hit like he has. He's a terrific defender, always has been. And he has more than carried his weight offensively for the Pirates. Well, the Brewers, they only have 21 wins on the board this year, but when they get the lead after 7, they have not lost. They're 18-0. This could be a key inning for them. At least it's been the trend. You got to give the bullpen a lot of credit for holding those leads.
Yeah, particularly lately on this road trip. Brewers with a 1-0 lead and a 2-0 lead yesterday. Not a lot of margin for error, but those guys have been able to get the job done.
Brewers relievers in the last 9 games, a 0.48 earned run average. Leads all of Major League Baseball. They've given up just 2 earned runs in 37 2/3 innings over the last 9. And that starts with that 17-inning game. Big spot, first and third, nobody out in a 1-1 game. Ramirez swings and cues it foul.
There, when Liriano gets men on base like he has right now, he doesn't throw too many fastballs. It's been nothing but all speed stuff. And this at bat to Ramirez, starting with a slider, that last pitch changeup.
See what it gives him here. 1-2. It's down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Aramis. Nobody works the gum like Clint Hurdle. Those are big league jaws right there, the jaws of life. That's a lot of years of excessive gum chewing in baseball dugouts.
There's not just one piece in there either.
Great speed on the bags. Braun and Gomez. Liriano delivers. Little tapper. Braun's coming home. He'll score. And Ramirez is out at first, but it gets the job done. Not only does a run come in, but Gomez advances. And the Brewers have a 2-1 lead.
About as good as a hit, right? Able to drive in the run. So credit Ramirez with an RBI on a cue shot on another off-speed pitch from Liriano. Another changeup. Couldn't have worked out much better. That's good adjustment by Alvarez right there. He went after the baseball, but able to get back. The Brewers executing in this inning. Got to take advantage of your chances when Liriano gives them to you.
RBI number 17 for the former Pirate Ramirez. And here's Jason Rogers now with Gomez at second. Cervelli on his way. Might want to change the signs up here.
This is the first time a man's been at second base. 4th and 6th, quick innings for Liriano. Of course, 2 11-pitch innings, not too bad either.
Rogers, a home run in the second. He's 1 out of 2. And your point about a runner being at second, of course, Braun went first to third, but as far as the signs go, it's the first time tonight that Cervelli has gone to the multiple signs with a runner standing at second base.
They go through the sequence of signs so that the runner at second doesn't, relay the single sign to the hitter. Makes hitting a lot easier. Go through that series of signs.
That's back up the middle, a base hit. Gomez around third. He will score. And Jason Rogers continues to impress. 2 hits tonight, drives in his second run of the game. The Brewers are up 3-1.
Waited back nice. You didn't try and pull it. Drives that one right up the middle, and with Gomez at second, you knew that was going to be a run. Seemed like Liriano was challenging Jason Rogers, gave him fastballs first 2 pitches, threw him another one right down the middle of the plate. That might have been a changeup. Right through his legs and into center field. So a 2-run 7th for Milwaukee, the Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game. Carlos Gomez crossing home plate.
And now Gerardo Parra. I'll tell you, Jason Rogers is a guy to keep your eye on. This guy is a hitter, and he's always been a hitter. Coming up through the Brewers minor league system, has a career minor league batting average of .288. Former Brewers minor league player of the year.
Saw a lot of him in spring training over the last couple of years, and so far this year he's shown to be very disciplined at the plate and uses the whole field line to line.
A couple of years ago in Double-A, he drove in 87 runs in the Southern League, hit 22 homers. problem is finding a position for him. He's been a third baseman coming up through the minor leagues. He has played a lot of outfield and a little bit of first base. Feels like first base is where he could settle in, but the way he's handled himself off the bench as a hitter has caught the attention of Craig Counsell. He's been his best pinch hitter this year.
And because of that, he's probably going to stick around a while. Always looking for bats off the bench. He's been a good one.
Gerardo Parra gets jammed. A little pop-up foul territory for the out. That's just the second out of the inning. Parra's 0 for 3. And here comes Hernan Perez. Brewers made a move today, activating Taylor Youngman, sending Luis Sardinas to AAA. Perez remains. He is out of options. He must stay, and he figures to get most of the playing time at second base in the absence of Sardinas.
That doesn't look like Hernan.
That is not Hernan Perez. That would be Luis Sardinas, actually.
Well, nobody's perfect.
No, and they're very good here. We don't want to take shots at them. What? There's a lot of new faces with the Brewers.
But let's take a shot at them, right?
Usually when you start a sentence like that, right? No disrespect.
It's like when somebody says to you, I don't want to make you mad by saying this, but.
Yeah. That's like when my wife calls and she says, don't be upset, but.
You might be getting a call between innings now.
Yes. Now I'm going to have to say that. Youngman on deck. 2 runs are in for the Brewers here in the 7th. And Perez strikes out to end the inning. Good inning for Milwaukee. Got a leadoff walk from Braun. 2 runs are in. Rogers and Ramirez with ribbies. His major league debut. Shining moment of the game brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic, and Youngman has been up for the task, and he will start the 7th inning with a 3-1 lead. He's only given up 3 hits. He has 5 strikeouts thus far.
And more importantly, no walks. I mean, that was an issue for him down in the minor leagues. When he was walking batters, he'd give them up in bunches, but he's been able to keep the Pirates on the attack, has been able to get ahead in the count, and a tremendous start to this one tonight.
Seems very poised, very calm on the mound. And now he's got a lead. Starling Marte will lead off. As the only blemish on the Taylor Youngman line tonight, the home run in the second inning. Marte got a hanging curveball and he didn't miss it. He launched one out of here to left. His 12th homer of the year. Marte to be followed by Alvarez and then Francisco Cervelli. Any sign of trouble, and you figured Counsell would make the move here. He does have activity in his bullpen right now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Marte hits it sharply. Segura's got it. He spins, he throws in time. What a play by Gene Segura, and the Brewers continue to flash the leather tonight.
He just has a very good sense. The instincts for Segura, knowing exactly where he is and where first base is. Watch the way he's able to grab this one, spin around all in one motion, knows exactly where to throw it, and gets Marte by a full step. I mean, Marte runs well, but just the instincts. We talk about the athleticism of Gene Segura, but you can't teach instincts, and he's got it.
It's amazing how he gets himself into a throwing position so quickly. Here's Alvarez, a hot shot right at Rogers. He knocks it down. He'll take it himself, and 2 quick outs for Taylor Youngman.
I think Segura's size helps him in this regard. He's got a very good center of gravity, a low center of gravity for a lot of shortstop. Like your typical shortstop's about 6 feet tall. Segura's a lot shorter, and because of that, I think his center of gravity, the fact that it's a little bit lower, helps him in plays like that. He always seems to be on balance and able to get off a good strong throw.
Angels had him as a second baseman coming up through their system, moved him to shortstop the year before he was traded to the Brewers in the Zach Greinke deal. He doesn't look like your prototypical big league shortstop in stature, but he's one of the best defenders in the game. He's having a great game tonight behind young Taylor Youngman. Two outs. Cervelli at the plate. 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. Tell you, if Youngman gets through 7 innings here, this will be quite the story. His pitch count is in great shape. Brewers just gave him 2 runs in the top of this inning to give him the lead. Three balls, no strikes. And he comes back with a strike. 3 balls and a strike on Cervelli, the former Yankee. Pirates had good success with a former Yankee turned Pirate catcher in Russell Martin. And they've gotten a lot of production from Cervelli as he draws the walk, the first of the night for Taylor Youngman. And decision time now for Craig Counsell.
Well, you got the bottom of the order up. You got to figure that the Pirates are going to go to the bench with the pitcher's spot on deck. Activity down in that Brewers bullpen.
Jeremy Jeffress, who typically has the 8th inning for the Brewers, up in the 7th. Jeffress is a guy that can give you multiple innings.
And he's done that. He's done that on this road trip.
Counsell will let it ride. 2 outs in the inning. Youngman, pitch number 91 coming to Jordy Mercer. In there for a strike. Mercer sitting on a 7-game hit streak. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He did line out his last time up, hit one sharply to second. On the ground, backhanded Ramirez. Long throw in time. How about Taylor Youngman? Welcome to the big leagues. The tall Texan threw 7 innings. Just 1 run allowed. Boy, what an impressive effort. High fives all around for Youngman. Probably his last inning. Brewers have the lead. We head for the 8th.
The original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Well, Taylor Youngman, high fives all around for Taylor Youngman. He will be pinch hit for in this 8th inning. His night is over, and you can't have a better debut than Taylor Youngman did here tonight, holding a very hot team to just 1 run, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Brewers have a 3-1 lead. Shane Peterson will pinch hit for Youngman.
How good is he going to sleep tonight? After a little bit of celebrating with the family in hopes that the Brewers get this win. But you think about the starts, Cravey and now Youngman, 1 run in those 2 starts.
Against the Cardinals and the Pirates.
Yep.
2 division rivals.
Good stuff.
Well, you know, his family is finally able to relax here. Taylor Youngman, 25 years of age, out of the University of Texas.
He's thinking this is easy up here in the big leagues. You get good defense.
There's some great plays behind him here tonight.
He's got an ERA in the mid-6s down in the minor leagues, and he shuts out the Pirates in 7 innings. There's no figure in this game, is there?
Going to the phones now. I got to let everybody know. His young nephew is getting a play-by-play recap. There's a swing and a miss. Down goes Peterson. 3 debuts in the last 9 games. Tyler Wagner giving up 5 runs in 3 2/3 against Arizona, and then Tyler Cravey was fantastic against the Cardinals, giving up just 1 run. Unfortunately, he took a loss. Brewers lost that game 1-0. And Youngman tonight, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, just the 1 walk. A night he will never forget.
Yeah. Which one stays, right?
And now the Brewers trying to secure a win for him. They'll turn it over to their bullpen.
The Brewers send Wagner down, send Cravey down. By the time they need that spot in the rotation again, it will be 10 days, and you can bring up anybody you want. Or you keep Youngman here.
Well, the idea originally, according to Craig Counsell, was that Tyler Wagner was going to get the spot, and he was going to get a handful of starts to see if he could stay in the big leagues. He was the guy, and he came from Double-A, remember. He was the guy that the Brewers, once they evaluated all the starters in the minor leagues, felt like deserved the opportunity and felt like had the best chance to succeed and survive the first wave. But then the 17-inning game against the Diamondbacks sent the Brewers in a bit of a tailspin with their pitching. They had to bring Matt Garza to finish that game. He went the final 5 innings. He was supposed to start the following day. Then they had to move up Mike Fiers on short rest. And then they've just been playing catch up since. But at least you've gotten some answers on a couple of guys that you didn't know about, and you got the debuts over with, and Tyler Cravey and Taylor Youngman.
Hey, Cravey replaced Wagner. Cravey went down because of Nita Peterson because Braun left the ball club.
Segura with a base hit. Man, how did he get to that pitch? Wow. Just went down and slapped it into the opposite field. Looked like it was headed for the dirt.
Yeah, big sweeping slider that stayed up just enough or long enough for Segura to be able to slice it into right. I mean, how do you hit that ball to right field? Pulling the hands in. And that's what he's been doing all season. I mean, just taking everything to center field and to right field. Just such a different hitter this year than last. And good speed at first. Brewers with a 2-run lead. You might see him be a little bit more aggressive with a 2-run lead.
Ray Searage, the Pirate pitching coach, former Brewer, having a chat here with Liriano.
I'd like to see Liriano get through this inning. He's due to lead off the 8th pitcher spot. That and the fact that I'd like to see the Pirates try to get him out of the game.
Other than the 7th inning, he's been tough on the crew tonight. At one point, he had retired 14 consecutive batters. Brewers got a homer from Jason Rogers in the 2nd. He's got 2 hits tonight, 2 RBIs. Crew scored twice in the 7th. RBIs from Ramirez and Rogers. Tell you, think about this night tonight. Jason Rogers and Taylor Youngman, and it makes you think about the late Bruce Side, who ran the Brewers scouting department until he tragically passed last year. Very sad day for the franchise, the Side family. And Segura takes off. Throw to second is late. Cervelli from his knees, and a stolen base for Gene Segura.
It just went on the first move and just off like a shot. Stolen base number 7, and another man in scoring position for Milwaukee. Yeah, with a 2-run lead, you could be a little bit more aggressive on the bases. And Segura with a good jump, and Cervelli from his knees, a pretty good throw.
Runner in scoring position now with 1 away. Jonathan Lucroy takes a ball down in the dirt. This would have been a night Bruce Side would have been most proud. You know, one of his final text messages before he passed was to Doug Melvin, and it was about Jason Rogers and just raving about him. And Rogers was told about that after hearing the news last year, and it shook him up a little bit. He gave him a shot. He believed in him. He sold him to the upper channels of the organization, and Jason Rogers is starting to look like he's going to be around for a while. He is a big league hitter, no doubt.
Getting more and more confident every time he goes out there. And not a bad guy to throw in there and at first base against a tough left-hander like Liriano. You give Lynn some time off, give him an opportunity to give that back a rest.
Lucroy, little bouncer to Harrison, and a high throw. Safe is the call. Alvarez must have come off the bag. The throw was there in time. Alvarez believes he was on the bag. He is asking his bench to challenge this. And Clint Hurdle right away tells the umpires to go to review.
Yeah, got nothing to lose, right?
Calling umpire is also the crew chief, Field and Colbert, so they'll take a quick look at it.
I'm not going to be able to see it on that angle right there, whether he stays on the bag or not. There's a good look at it. There's the foot on the bag when he catches the baseball, and looks like he is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's clearly, not only did he have his foot on the bag initially, then he popped up, but then he came down again in time. That's not going to take long.
Yeah, and it was a quick review. He is out. It has been overturned. Lucroy retired.
He had the foot down 2 different times. He's got it down right there, it looks like. Then he pops up and then comes back down before Lucroy gets the bag with his foot.
All right, so 2 outs now. Segura still at second base, and here is Ryan Braun. Braun has been the Brewers' best hitter with runners in scoring position. As a matter of fact, he is currently 6th in the National League in batting average with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .395 this year, and he's hit 4 of his 13 homers.
So why are they pitching to him, right? And he's had good success against Liriano, although the guy on deck's had good success as well.
Well, Liriano's got him down 0-2. Braun had a big hit against a lefty late last night. It was an RBI single in the 8th to stretch it to a 2-0 lead. No balls, 2 strikes. The speedy Segura at second base. 1-2. Brewers have been involved in 4 shutouts on this road trip. They've won 2, lost 2. Got a 3-1 lead here in the 8th, and Braun swings and misses. Down he goes. Little change of pace from Liriano. 3-1 Milwaukee. Jeremy Jeffress next man up. We head to the bottom of the 8th here. 3-1 Milwaukee. And it'll be Jeremy Jeffress for the 8th. It'll be his 31st appearance of the year. This guy has been terrific for the Brewers, and he has been so good. He's moved into this high leverage role as the setup man for Frankie Rodriguez.
Yeah, these 31 appearances lead the National League in appearances out of the bullpen. And he pitched last night to Jeremy, tossed a scoreless 8th inning, gave up a hit, also struck out a batter. 32 punch-outs for Jeremy in 28 2/3 innings.
Jung Ho Kang will pinch hit for the Pirates. Liriano, he is out. He is in a losing position right now. And Jeffers zips one in at 93 for a strike. Kang started at third base last night. He and Jordy Mercer and Josh Harrison are all sharing time at shortstop and third base. Every now and then Harrison will play in the outfield. There's a swing and a miss. 95 with that heater, and it's 0-2 on Jung.
Yep, it's the fastball and the breaking pitch for Jeremy Jeffress, and he can get it up there in the 96, 97 range.
The 0-2, little half swing, foul. Now the Brewers bullpen has been a strength. Brewers are 4-3 on their current road trip. There's a called strike 3. Jeremy Jeffress with a little snarl, just bringing the heat. Nothing but fastballs. Strikeout to start the 8th. Let's check in with Sophia for more on the bullpen.
Well, bullpen coach Lee Tunnell especially proud of his group last night. Another 3 shutout innings for them between Broxton, JJ, and Frankie Rodriguez. And he said of all the nights that there could have been excuse, last night was it. Just with the conditions, the 2 rain delays, he said he was particularly proud of how his guys maintained their focus, concentrating, particularly JJ, who knew he was going to come on after that second delay, had to wait an hour and a half. Craig Counsell acknowledged that as well, saying that just the disruption in his routine to sit there for an hour and a half knowing you're going to pitch but not knowing when we were going to begin the game. So proud of them for their effort for finishing that game last night.
The former Pirate Lee Tunnell. There's a base hit to left. Harrison will reach. And a base runner with 1 out in the 8th. Harrison collects his first hit of the night.
And turned that fastball around. It was right down the middle. First hit of the series for Harrison. The Brewers have handled him pretty well this year.
That'll bring up Gregory Polanco. He's starting to move into the dangerous part of the order for the Pirates. And now they'll have the tying run at the plate. And the part of the lineup that handles the fastball well, all of these guys do. Harrison, Polanco, McCutchen, Walker.
The guy on deck. I mean, McCutchen, one of the best in the business.
Inside corner for a strike. There's McCutchen waiting to hit next.
He's just a good hitter. You just got to mix it up on him. No one way to attack him.
Polanco is a tough guy to double up. He's got to hit a hot one right at an infielder in order to turn 2.
Polanco's had a difficult time with the curveball tonight.
Polanco in the air to left, playable for Parra. Harrison goes halfway, so he will retreat. Second out of the inning. And now the showdown with 2 away.
This is power against power right here. The big fastball, the good fastball hitter. This is what the big leagues is all about. These matchups right here.
Not a better hitter of high velocity in the league than Andrew McCutchen. And he's going to get some high velocity here from Jeremy Jeffress. 2 outs, tying run at the plate. McCutchen is 1 out of 3. He doubled his last time up. That was off Youngman.
Yeah, that was on a curveball.
His line drive out, one of the plays of the night. A diving catch by Gomez in center field. Could easily have 2 hits. Brewers lead at 3-1. Jeffress delivers a strike in there.
Perfect, right on the corner. Look at it.
We throw a couple more right there and you'll be all right.
95, and that location is unhittable.
A double by McCutchen in the 6th snapped an 0 for 9 for him. Long pause. The 1-1. McCutchen lays off. Lucroy liked that pitch, though. You could tell by his motion after he caught it. He gave him a little attaboy with his glove.
Because he didn't hang it. You don't want to hang that pitch.
Because he got to catch it in the first place.
That's right. You don't want to leave those curveballs up to McCutchen.
You know he's sitting on the fastball. And Jeffress misses. So it's 3-1. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, in the jacket, talking with Craig Counsell. Got a left-hander coming up next in Neil Walker. He's no picnic either. Got to make a good pitch here. McCutchen has the power to tie this thing up in a hurry. And he swings and hammers one deep left center field. Back is Gomez. He is there just in front of the wall. Yikes. Jeremy Jeffress, a long, loud out to McCutchen. Brewers still lead 3-1. Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Now, Brewers fans, we told you it wouldn't last. Time is running out on tonight's Fox Sports Wisconsin ticket takeover. Buy a regular price ticket to this Thursday's Brewers Nationals game, and you'll receive a second ticket of equal value, courtesy of Fox Sports Wisconsin. Log on to brewers.com/takeover and enter promo code FSWI right now. This deal is done at the end of tonight's post-game show. Some changes for the Pirates. Jared Hughes will be on the mound for Pittsburgh. Jung-Ho Kang stays in the game at third, and they move Harrison out to right field. 3-1 Brewers. Carlos Gomez leads off, and a roller out to Jordy Mercer for the out. Wow, what a moment to end the bottom of the 8th inning for the Pirates. McCutchen just launches one into left center field, and Gomez on the track just in front of the wall, making the catch to end the frame.
And not many ballparks going to hold that. That's a rough 1-for-4 for Andrew McCutchen. The way he has been swinging the bat tonight. I think when he hit that, I think he thought he got it because of his reaction when the ball was caught.
Here's Ramirez.
It's not just the dimensions and how big the outfield is. The ball just doesn't carry well in this ballpark. And Gomez about halfway on the warning track and hauls it in. Got away with one.
Well, and the numbers McCutchen could put up if he played in a hitter-friendly ballpark half of his games. That one is certainly out. Oh, that ball's hit. Ramirez sends Marte way back, looking up. Goodbye. Aramis Ramirez, a booming home run to left. Number 7 for Ramirez, and the Brewers take a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. I mean, as many balls as we've seen hit hard in this game that have stayed at the ballpark. Not that one. Hey, Ramirez on a 1-1 pitch. That's a slider that just kind of hung up there in the strike zone, and he hammered it out of here. Well, the Brewers with now a 3-run lead, with K-Rod getting loose in the bullpen.
And here's Rogers right back to the box. That'll be Hughes to make the play. And the second out of the inning. Aramis Ramirez doing some damage to his old mates. The team that signed him, developed him, and brought him to the big leagues.
Yeah, the old cement mixer slider right there. It was spinning but didn't move. Made him pay.
4-1. The Brewers lead it. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Well, we got a no-hitter watch going tonight in San Francisco. Parra rolls out, and that will retire the side. Chris Heston of the Giants working on a no-hitter through 7. Francisco Rodriguez will try to save one for the Brew Crew. Once again, he got one last night. He is perfect this year. Brewers lead 4-1. Bottom of the 9th coming from Pittsburgh. Time now for the AT&T U-verse rewind. Jason Rogers, a home run in the second inning off Liriano, just out of the reach of Marte. Put the Brewers on the board 1-0. Then Rogers once again at an RBI single in the 7th. Scored Carlos Gomez. A 1-out single and an RBI for Rogers. That made it 3-1. Taylor Youngman, big story tonight. Major League debut. Youngman goes 7 innings. Only 1 run allowed. He had a good changeup going. Very nice effort by Taylor Youngman in his first game in the big leagues. 3 outs away from a win. Hector Gomez will take over for Ramirez at third base. And here is Frankie Rodriguez on to try to notch number 12.
Yeah, he got number 11 last night. A scoreless inning. Had a couple of strikeouts, did Frankie. All by himself, 9th on the all-time saves list with 359. Next up, Jeff Reardon.
He was tied with one of his mentors, Troy Percival, until a save last night, and is 8 saves away from Jeff Reardon's spot, 8th all time. Mariano Rivera is the all-time saves leader, 652.
Yep, 8 away from Reardon.
Did you see Mariano Rivera's son got drafted yesterday by I think it was the Nationals. College pitcher out of Iona.
As a cutter?
Has to. Swing and a miss by Neil Walker. 1-2 the count.
Surprised somebody didn't sign him when he was like 10 years old.
Just for the prospect part of it. No, they say he's legit. He throws hard. He's got a mid-90s fastball, and definitely worth the risk. That's a big name to live up to, though. So, by the way, I mentioned a no-hitter alert going on. That game is in New York. The Giants' Chris Heston, who pitched against the Pirates last week, he has a no-hitter into the bottom of the 8th inning. He's got 2 outs in the 8th, as a matter of fact. He has hit 2 batters, his only blemishes. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. He is 4 outs away from a no-no. Albert Pujols hit a home run tonight. Speaking of historical records, home run number 536 for Pujols. He tied Mickey Mantle for 16th all time. K-Rod looking for number 360 saves here tonight. It's a big number. The 2-2 out in front. Walker flies to center field. Gomez routine out number 1. That was a curveball from Rodriguez.
Yep, a couple of fastballs, then 2 changeups, and then he got him on a curveball.
Check our Miller Lite What's on Tap. The finale tomorrow. Kyle Loesch against Charlie Morton. He's been pitching well for the Pirates since coming back. 5:30 is airtime right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And then the Brewers finally headed home. Start a 4-gamer against the Nationals on Thursday.
Loesch is due for a good one.
Little half swing. Rodriguez has it. He'll take it himself. 2 up and 2 down here in the 9th inning. And the Pirates are down to their last out. The Youngman family down to their last out. They are going to do some celebrating tonight if Frankie Rodriguez can close this one out. You have the nephew there, Hudson. He was asleep when this game started. He is in full throttle. He's on his A game right now.
He's had a lot of sugar.
He's full of icy, ready to see his uncle.
Cotton candy.
Pedro Alvarez. Taylor Youngman went 7. Jeremy Jeffress pitched a scoreless 8th. Came with a scare on a deep fly ball out by McCutchen. If he hits it another 10 feet or so, it's going to be a tie game. Chris Heston is now through 8 innings of no-hit ball. He is 3 outs away from a no-hitter for the Giants in New York against the Mets. Here's a 1-1. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes.
Craig Counsell is thinking to himself, this game's pretty easy when you get good pitching. And that's what they've been getting for the most part on this road trip.
Pirates have only scored 1 run in this series. Bouncing ball. This should do it. Hernan Perez will make the play, and the ball game is over. A save for Frankie Rodriguez and a win in his first major league game for Taylor Youngman. He's the first Brewer pitcher to win in his major league debut, to go at least 7 innings since Steve Woodard back in 1997. Jason Rogers drove in a pair. This is going to be a night for the record books for Taylor Youngman. He'll never forget this one, Ron.
Outstanding work. I mean, he's pretty good his last 3 starts down in the minor leagues, but overall was having a rough time of it. Numbers game. The Brewers needed a starter, and boy, did he give him a nice start tonight. Family present. Taylor Youngman came up big today. So did Jason Rogers.
The Youngman family witnessing history here for their guy. We will hear from him. We guarantee it. Sophia's headed down there. Jeff Grayson standing by. It's time for Brewers Live. The Brewers winners tonight, 4-1. Take it away,